There is me learning about, I don't know, okay, it's gonna be hard to see, but that's me learning about snails last night. I promise.
Oh my god, I love you so much.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Optimistic Underdog podcast, where official sports news gets talked about by unofficial sports people. Today, I am joined by someone you've seen already in one of our episodes, one of my favorite people in the entire world, and once again, one of the smartest people I know about Harry Potter knowledge. You'll see her very soon on the finals of Vitsperty for the Harry Potter Championship. It is Miss McKenna. McKenna, what is up?
Hello, hello. I'm so happy to be here. How are
I'm
you?
I'm great. I'm so glad you decided to come back and hang out with me a little bit more.
Oh my,
Um,
I'm so happy. I'm so excited.
this is great. I'm excited because so again, like the first episode you were on, this one's going to be a little different because so Caesar outed you a bit the first episode. He told us all this huge secret that you had, that you really knew nothing about football, which
Not a thing.
so I knew this already. Whenever I asked you to be on this episode, you were like, "I know nothing about this." I'm like, "No, that's perfect. This is a learning experience. That's what we're doing here." And that was the purpose of that episode, was we were all going to learn about FCF. And then yeah, Caesar's like, "Can I tell everybody your big secret, McKenna?" And you're like, "I have no idea what you're talking about. Sure, go for it." And he told everybody that you didn't know anything about football.
Mhm.
Uh, you did some band stuff in high school, all that stuff. But hey, I don't know if I even knew that much about football in high school. My family made me watch it a lot because we are in a very big football town. But other than that,
Mhm.
I didn't know a lot about football until I got older. So, but yeah, so you didn't know much about FCF until that night. Now, we had almost an hour-long discussion about football, about FCF, with the one and only Jose Ruckus, fantastic gentleman from the Aces Wild podcast, good friend now, awesome.
Mhm.
He's been hanging out with us a lot, which is fantastic. So
Yes.
I want to know, how do you feel about football and the FCF now?
I honestly, I love it a lot more than I expected to. I lived, however, 20 years, not being like, I don't know if this sport thing in general is for me. But then FCF came along, and I really enjoy watching it. It's really fun. It's been great, like learning how it works, and yeah, learning all the facts, figures, statistics. It's been lovely.
That's great. And I love you say that, it's been 20 years. You never really got into sports and it's something new. And even for me, I mean, heck, we've decided, well, we noticed this the other day, much older than you are. But I even with this, I've been watching football a long time. I'm learning things about this game that are not like normal football, which is fantastic. I love it.
Mhm.
It's the same sport that I know and love, but there's so much other cool stuff going on. And I love sitting there. We have watch parties every Saturday night, which is so much fun.
Mhm.
Obviously, we can't all get together and watch the game, mostly because of distance. None of us live really close. I think actually you and I are probably the closest ones together.
I think
And
so, yes.
we're still a few hours apart, but,
Mhm.
we can't all get together and watch the game, but we can do it digitally, which is fantastic, but we're all sitting there picking plays, watching the game,
Mhm.
celebrating together when they score, and being sad when they miss a tackle, which, happens quite often. But
Yeah.
hey, you know, it's and even with the league right now, since it is in its first season, it's a learning experience for all of
Mhm.
us, and I think it's fantastic.
Mhm.
And I think even like you said, this is bringing in a new group of fans for football in general, maybe. You
Mhm.
know, maybe you may or may not watch some football games next year in just the regular season. It's
Mhm.
not I'm going to say it's not as exciting as the FCF. FCF is way more exciting than
Yeah,
regular football. I'm going to say that right now.
and it's
I love
shorter.
and it's shorter, so much shorter.
Yeah.
I don't even think I can stand watching a full football game, to be
Mhm.
honest. It's hard keeping my attention. It's usually
Oh, yeah.
I will take a nap with my cat while I'm watching the game or something like that. But, it is what it is. I think watching the games with people, though, makes it so much better, and
Mhm.
that's really what I'm enjoying, I think, the most is just being able to sit down and watch it with all of my friends. We have this great community, and honestly, these players are even just so interactive with us, and it's great, and I think that's what makes the fan-controlled football stuff so awesome is how interactive it all really is.
Mhm. Mhm. Absolutely. I totally agree. And it feels like we're almost like all learning about this, like all the new rules and whatnot together, which is really nice. Like I don't feel alone in
Mhm.
like not knowing what's going on. I
Yeah,
don't know.
exactly, because I don't think anybody knows exactly what's going on. We
Yeah.
had a rule change in between games last night.
Oh
That's the
yeah.
second time this has happened this season,
Mhm.
and, well, yeah, you're not gonna see that during an NFL game. They're
Mhm.
not gonna change a rule midway through a game ever
Mhm.
in the
Right.
NFL. You won't even see that. I don't even think you would see that during the season in the
Yeah.
NFL.
Mhm.
But I think it's, again, it's a new league. They're gonna make changes on the fly as they need to. And,
Mhm.
sometimes we're gonna like them, sometimes we're not gonna like them. But I think it's great that, we're all learning this together and we're all adjusting together. And I really think that they have something here. And I hope this something continues because it is so much fun.
Mhm. Yes.
Now, like I said, we've been lucky enough to get to be friends with Jose Ruckus, the host
Mhm.
of the Aces Wild podcast. He has interviewed some great people, like
Mhm.
our quarterback from the Wild Aces. So tell us how you feel about him.
About Mr. Dirty Dude.
Yeah, dirty dude. How do you feel? Because I know that you guys have a little bit in common.
I no, I think he's a pretty great guy. You know what? Last week I think it was brought up that he wants to challenge me in Harry Potter trivia. You know
Oh yeah.
what? Bring it on, buddy. Anytime, any day. I'll literally go around your schedule. I'll go around. I'll do it. But I will crush him in Harry Potter trivia. He I'll do it. I'll do it. I don't care how famous he is. Well, I do, but I don't care how I'll take him down.
And I 100% believe in you.
Thank you.
But you heard it here first, everyone. McKenna versus Dirty Dude.
Mhm.
Harry
Mhm.
Potter trivia.
Mhm.
We'll
Let's
see
go.
if we can make it happen, so
Oh, I hope so.
I hope so too, that would be fantastic. I
I
would love
really
to see that. It would be great.
Mhm.
Hey, fan-controlled football, anything can happen, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. So, we'll see. We'll see what we can
Mhm.
do about that, so
Yes.
awesome. So, I'm just so glad that like I said, the fan-controlled football has been fantastic. Playoffs start next weekend. It's gonna be
Mhm.
great. We
Mhm.
I feel like for season 1, we did pretty well, you
Mhm.
know?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, again, like I said, this is a learning experience
Mhm.
for all of us, league
Yeah.
included,
Mhm.
players, fans, everything. And I think that is really what it is all about.
Mhm. Mhm. We lived, we learned, we're getting we're better.
Yes.
We're the
Ex-
best. Ace is wild, you know?
Ace is wild, baby.
Yes.
Anything else you have to say about the FCF?
Honestly, thank God for the FCF. I get to talk to my friends every week I get to hang out with them every Saturday night on Discords. We hung out for the draft a couple of weeks. It's been like one of like I'm in the middle of school right now. It's been stressing me out. So the FCF is very I love it right now for the time that it's happening at. It's been helping me like chill out and relax and be with my friends. So I love it.
Heck yeah, I totally agree. I love it. And hey, you know, come watch football with your friends during spring. It's fun. It's awesome.
Yes.
And if you wanna know more about the FCF, please check out the Aces Wild pod. They do a great job over there, great interviews, all that stuff. And yeah, just keep an eye out here because I'm sure we'll be doing much more FCF content. Hopefully, we get picked up, hopefully this is second season. Let's hope. Cross our fingers because I would love for a
Yes.
second season. Plus,
Mhm.
playoffs are coming up, so I'm gonna say in a couple weeks we might have another show about, some FCF news. So we'll keep an eye out for that too. All right, so we're gonna do a quick follow-up on a story I did a few weeks ago about the arenas opening back up. So when we talked about that last, the New York stadiums had started to open up at 10% capacity as long as they had a minimum capacity of 10,000 fans allowed. So I mean that's pretty good. That would mean at least 1,000 people allowed in the stadiums each. But
Mhm.
most places, you have a higher capacity of 10,000 people, thankfully. Well, here in Pennsylvania at that point in time, I know that both Philadelphia and Pittsburgh had put in, requests to allow fans back into their stadiums, with Pittsburgh requesting 25% fans. Well, it turns out both stadiums now are allowing 15% fans into each stadium. So that's allowing 3,100 fans in Wells Fargo Center and 2,800 fans in PPG Paints Arena for the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Penguins had fans in attendance for their past 3 games against the Flyers, conveniently, and again tonight for their game against the Rangers. And the Flyers will start hosting fans this evening for their game. So this is pretty cool. The Flyers arena general manager Phil Laws said, they're the 26th or 27th NBA or NHL arena to open. So, they're kind of following in everybody else's footsteps at this point. They
Mhm.
just spent, I believe it was 11 million to redo their entire HVAC system so
Wow.
they can replace the air that's in the bowl level of the arena every 30 minutes, which is pretty impressive,
Mhm.
just to keep the air fresh and clean for everyone in attendance. They're going to be doing at the Pens Arena, staggering arriving times, seats spaced out so you're not crossing over other fans, along with different cleaning upgrades like the drones spraying the seats they have at the Penguins Arena. And at most arenas that you're going to see right now, no bags, face masks, social distancing, and health screenings at the door. Also, cashless payments and picking up food is more going to be a grab and go concession type thing. Um, Now, this has also led to something else rather interesting. So, a lot of times, if you've ever been to a sports game, we had kiss cams. Well, obviously, they're not going to encourage kissing right now at games. So, it was an NBA team, the what is their name? The Milwaukee Brewers, I believe it is.
I think so.
I want to say it's the Milwaukee Brewers. Because basketball, I think we all realized this last week when we had the fantastic Lexi Gunner on. I am not good with basketball. Um, they are Milwaukee Bucks. I'm sorry. If the Brewers is baseball.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, the Bucks. They have hand sanitizer cam. So I'll put in a nice still image here and of what happens with hand sanitizer cam. Uh, it's definitely something I'm either not quite sure they totally thought through, or someone either just really knows what they're doing and they're just trying to pull a fast one. McKenna, what do you think? Because I did share this tweet with you. We shared the video and it's interesting.
To say the least, yes, very interesting. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, and they didn't realize, but
Yeah.
who knows?
It's pretty bad. I think the worst part is when there are a few folks, they're like, "Oh, hand sanitizer. Yay!" Like, I'm gonna go like and it's just like, "Oh, but there's one point where, there's a lady and it's like the hand sanitizer pump's going and it's
Mhm.
like going like this, and she's sitting there just like she knows.
Oh yeah.
She knows, and
Mhm.
she knows, and she is not amused with hand sanitizer cam. I don't think I would be amused either with hand sanitizer cam, to
Mm-mm.
be completely fair. But I mean, and they're trying to promote like air high fives and stuff like that. Props to them. I'm very proud because, obviously, again, we don't want to be doing kiss cam right now. I agree. Uh, but hand sanitizer cam, you might want to rethink. Just a little bit maybe, please. Please, hand
Yeah.
sanitizer can is bad. Yeah. Um, I did want to add, we ran some polls this week just to kind of get, with the audience to see how comfortable folks are with returning to stadiums, and just to get it was obviously not a huge poll of folks, but 96% were saying, I like my TV, thanks, and another 4% with let me back in, please. I think I'm gonna probably stick with the 96% right now, just for a
Me as
little bit
well.
longer.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, me too.
Also, 85% said that they have had their team affected by someone with COVID, which brings me to my other point of when the Penguins announced that they were reopening the stadium to fans, just a few short hours later, they announced that their star player, Sidney Crosby, and their assistant coach were both going on the COVID protocol
Oh,
list.
no.
Now, it was obviously not revealed that either of them had COVID, and it's being assumed neither of them did since they were both back with the next game.
Oh.
But it was just really, really poor timing, honestly. I
Mhm.
think, like, that was just, everyone was like, "Yay, we're allowed back in," and then it's like,
What a
that's
roller coaster of emotions.
not good." Like,
No.
that was just really bad timing, I think, um,
Mhm.
for him to be put right back on the list as soon as they said that fans could come back in. So, yeah. One other real quick story, because I did have this pop up today, this morning, right before we recorded. I didn't get a chance to write too much on it, but I just thought it was something else that was kind of fun. Tom Brady says he, quote, tries to change the subject when his wife brings up his retirement. I thought this was just kind of cute. Um, he's definitely not ready to retire. He was a virtual guest on the Late Late Show with James Corden, and yeah, it says describing the moment when the supermodel greeted him on the field after they had their big win against the Kansas City Chiefs. He playfully recalled, all of a sudden I saw my wife and I gave her a big hug. And just as I did it, she said, what more do you have to prove? I just gave her a big hug, he added, and was trying to figure out a way to change the subject real quick. I mean, to be fair, he has more Super Bowl rings than any other team, not just
Mhm.
player, any other team in the NFL. That is pretty impressive, and she has a point. What else do you have to prove, Tom? We all know you're the greatest. I mean, even the folks that hate you can't deny that.
Mhm.
But I still thought that was pretty funny that
Yeah.
she was like, "Oh, I mean, really, what else do you have? What else is there, man? Come on."
And then he just moves right along.
Yep. And next topic, let's talk about avocado vodka, right? Isn't that what he was drinking on the boat?
I think
Something
so.
like that.
Yeah.
So, uh, looks like Tom is not ready to call it quits quite yet, which I don't think surprises any of us. I think that he is probably the most in shape person on the planet, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Um, yeah, I
Mhm.
think he probably has a couple more years left in him. Though, also to talk about someone who is pushing the limits of retirement, Ben Roethlisberger did restructure his contract just this past week, from 19 million to, I believe it was 14 million. Super nice guy. Um,
So modest, knocking off
right?
that 5,000,000, you know?
Super cool. But what it does do is he did spread it out. So some of that payment was for next year, which is cool because it does knock off a cool 15 million off this year's cap, which may or may not help them keep some of their players this year for the Steelers.
Oh.
Though it is thought that the one guy they are aiming to keep, Juju Smith-Schuster, is probably not going to stay, which is a little bit sad for some of the nerdier fans in Pittsburgh. I know we were just talking about him last night and his Dragon Ball Z love. So we'll see how that all turns out. Never a dull moment, always a little bit of drama with the Steelers. So we'll see how that
Oh,
all
yeah.
pans out.
It's
So.
not the Steelers without that little bit of drama.
Exactly, it's really not. So we'll see. As far as any other big football news goes, I think the other big thing we had this week was Russell Wilson from the Seattle Seahawks not happy in Seattle anymore. Little upsetting. And so another guy we really thought that was going to retire and stick it out there, but rumor has it he is not pleased there. We'll see if he ends up moving. It's been a year with quarterbacks on the move in the NFL.
Wow.
So,
Mhm.
yeah, we'll see how that pans out. Um, We'll see if we get any more NFL players in the FCF, I think, since we saw the coming of Josh Gordon last night. That brings us to 2 NFL players in the FCF after Johnny Manziel and Josh Gordon have both made their debuts there. Though Manziel has not played the past 2 games. Josh Gordon did make his debut last night, and from what I hear, I missed it, but one heck of a catch at the end of the game to make it so the Beasts were not undefeated.
Mm-hmm. Yes, finally the first defeat.
I love that she's more excited than I am right now. It makes my heart so happy, honestly. It really does. She was catching me up before we started recording, so it really does make me happy. So that's fantastic.
Football.
Yay, football. Sports. Oh, awesome. All right. Well, I think that is going to wrap it up for today. Miss McKenna, please tell the good people where they can find you.
All right, you can find me on Twitter at PotterPants212, as well as Patch Notes, Twitter at Patch Notes Vids, on YouTube Patch Notes. We do a weekly short form gaming news video thing. Yeah.
And maybe you'll see me on there.
Wink, wink.
Also, did you hear that? Potter Pants 212. That means she knows about Harry Potter, Jerdy. Just saying. I'm just saying. She might be pretty smart about Harry Potter. Patreon shoutouts for this month are...
We have the one, the only, Kisselwinks. We also have the amazing Mr. Mac. And we have McKenna. Shout out to you amazing people. Now, Erica, where can people find these incredible people doing amazing things?
You can find Kesselwinks at Kesselwinks on Twitch and Twitter. Mr. Mac92 on Twitch and Twitter at the same name. And McKenna you can find at PotterPants212 on Twitter. And find her awesome work on Patch Notes over at YouTube and on podcast services.
Now, I hear with Patch Notes that it sounds like it's all the gaming news just in one short, concise video. Is that correct?
Absolutely is. It's definitely great, and you should all check it out.
Love it. Well, thank you to all you amazing, beautiful Patreon people. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you for all the incredible support. We love you so much.
Thanks, guys. All right, everybody. And as usual, you can find me at Ambelina on Twitch and Twitter, typically with electricity because the power just went out. So I'm doing this outro without power. I love you guys so much. You can also find me at theoupod.com where we do, those reviews with Ben and Al and special guests all the time. Yep, we do all that stuff. And then find us here doing the Optimistic Underdog podcast every week with a new guest talking about sports. So I'm going to keep this short and sweet since I'm running off a hot spot. Until next time, everybody, keep it unofficial. Thank you so much, McKenna.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.